A very good evening, students. Now let us start our second session today. Today we are going to discuss Indian polity. A very good evening, students. Now let us start our Indian polity session today of October month. Very comprehensively we'll deal today. I will also train you on how to think and how to research in the meanwhile. So don't afford to miss a session. Watch clearly everything. Okay. Today I will provide you with the PDF of October month. Just stick to the PDF and read Hindu newspaper along with it. You'll definitely crack the UPSC in the first attempt itself. Now let us move towards right to life and right against exploitation. Come on. Why it's in the news? Supreme Court on Thursday, in the October month, it quashed the Gujarat government's notification granting temporary relaxations to employers on certain conditions relating to working hours and payment of wages under the factories. So Gujarat government has issued some notification and Supreme Court has quashed it. That's why it's in the news. Right to life and right against exploitation. We need to go towards it. What did the court say then? Court observed that notifications in denying human working conditions and overtime wages provided guaranteed by our honorable constitution and right against forced labor that are secured by 21 article and 23 article. Now go to Indian polity Lakshmikant, read comprehensively about article 21 and 23. Okay, don't miss the session. Next, let coming to the concept. Now, what is Article 21? It's the protection of life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. And also, even though law mentions that mentions a certain procedure to a person to the government authority to deprive someone's life, it should be fair enough, and that is known as procedure due process of law. You will come to know after researching it. Okay. Next, it also applies to natural persons. This right is available to every person, citizen or alien. Now, what is alien? It is not aliens who have come from other planets. Aliens means other than citizens. That means non-citizens. That means who belongs to other countries. Okay. Thus, even a foreigner can claim this right. UPSC examination can ask a question like this. So, which of the following articles uh, belong to only citizen, and which of the following articles belong to applies to only citizen as well as foreigner? I mean alien. Okay. And one more thing: in the alien, there are good aliens and bad aliens. Search it. Know about it. You will come to know about this in Polity Lakshmikant. Read comprehensively today. So, Article 23 provides for prohibition of trafficking, human trafficking. Okay, this is regarding Article 23 is regarding human trafficking. Next, uh, this is all about the first topic. Next, let us move towards free speech. Why it's came in the news? Bombay High Court said that in a democracy, citizens are free to express their views, but they have to ensure that while expressing their right, they don't violate someone else's constitutional rights. What does it mean? It means Constitution has given us certain rights. It doesn't mean that you have the right to violate some other's right. It has some limitations. It should not be in such a way that it is hurting someone else's rights. Okay, so that is the concept. So which article deals with the free speech? Article 19, freedom of speech. So that is about the free speech. Next, postal ballots. Election Commission has announced that it will allow those above the age of 65 as well as those under home or institutional quarantine to vote using the postal ballots during the Bihar elections. Now, what is postal ballots? Let us move towards the concept. A restricted set of voters can exercise postal voting. That means, like for the government servants or mean the members of army, navy, air force, or the members of police, or else you are working as a government employee outside India, like Indian ambassadors, or else you are working as a agent involved in the election counting process, or else so you cannot vote in your hometown, right? In that case, postal ballot comes into the scene. Through the postal ballots, you can vote for a person and send it through a postal ballot. So, why it's in the news? In Bihar elections, recently Election Commission has announced the minimum age. Above 65 years, they can vote through postal ballots. Okay. Voters under preventive detention can also vote only by post. So, this can be asked in the UPSC. Every word, each and every word is important in polity. UPSC can frame question from each and every topic. It has that potential. We cannot afford to leave any topic of the polity. So we must cover the polity very comprehensively. So who are the special orders? They are the President of India, Vice President. So who is the President of India at right now? Comment in the chat box below. Who is the Vice President now? Next, governors. Who is a governor? Union Cabinet Minister, Speaker of the House, and government officers on poll duty. Now, since we have heard of the President of India, Vice President, Governor, Union Cabinet Ministers, and Speaker of the House and government officers on poll duty, look after their rights, their powers, the related articles mentioned about them in the Constitution today. So this is the way of reading, actually reading in UPSC. Okay. Next, let us move towards the topic. But they have to. These people have to apply through a prescribed form. A form should be there. If you want to vote through a postal ballot, you need to fill up a form. So that is the procedure. Okay. Next, who is the returning officer? He's generally called as RO. He is supposed to print ballot papers within 1 day, 24 hours of the last day of nomination withdrawal, and dispatch them within a day. So this is done so that the ballot papers reach the concerned voter well before the polling day, and she has enough time to send it back before the counting day. I hope you understand it. Next, this is about the remaining topic. I'll give you the PDF, just go through it. I'm giving the overview of this so that you don't feel much stressed while reading the PDF. Okay. Next, NCPCR, the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. When it was set up? It was set up in 2007. It comes under which act? Commission for Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. Okay, national. So after the enactment of Commission for Protection of Child Rights Acts, after 2 years, a National Commission for Protection of Child Rights (NCPCR) was set up in 2007. Okay, since it has come into existence through an act, it is known as statutory body. Now look after what are other bodies like autonomous bodies or statutory bodies. What is a constitutional body? Go through it. Constitutional body means from the beginning, if the constitution has mentioned regarding a body, like example of election commission, so election commission is a constitutional body. Now since this body has come into existence through an act, it is a statutory body. Okay, so commission's mandate is to ensure. What's its mandate? Its mandate means, what does it do? It is to ensure that all laws, policies, program, and administrative mechanisms are in consonance with child rights. Okay, so this is their mechanism. Next, also, who is a child? Are you a child? If you are below 18 years age group, you are considered as a child. Above 18 is considered as adult. That's it. Okay. Next, what are its functions? Functions of this commission are as follows: examine to examine and review the safeguards provided by law for the child rights. Next, it has to present the report to the central government annually and at such intervals as the commission may deem fit, and upon working as safeguards, inquire into the violation. If someone has been committed a violence on any child, this commission comes into picture. It will inquire into the violation of child rights and recommend initiation of proceedings. This is an important point. it comes under powers of it. Next, it examines all factors that inhibit the enjoyment of rights of children, whatever it may be. It takes care of them regarding the child rights. It also looks into the matters related to the children in need of special care and protection, including children in distress, marginalized, disadvantaged children, children in conflict with law, juveniles. So, who is a juvenile children? Read with it. Read it now. Type in the Google and follow. This is the way of getting curiosity and arousing our curiosity and study, and this is the way of preparing for UPSC. Okay. Next, study treaties. It is also it study treaties and other international instruments. Undertake periodical review of existing policies and programs, other activities on child rights, and make recommendations for the effective implementation of children. This is all about National Commission. Let us move towards River Board. Why it came in the news? Center will determine the jurisdictions of Krishna and Godavari River Management Board. Krishna and Godavari. Union Water Resources Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat said recently. Here, uh, here, let us move towards the concept. Since River Board comes into existence, our topic, the concept of it will be interstate water disputes. Article 262 of our Constitution provides for the adjudication of interwater disputes. What is adjudication? Dealing, you can call it also like that. Okay. Under this, according to this article, Parliament by law provide for the adjudication of any dispute or any. This is the term. These are the critical terms and the gray areas from where the questions are framed by the UPSC are compliant with respect to the use, distribution, and control of waters of any interstate rivers. That means originating in a state or moving towards another state. It has huge parliament, huge power. Okay, parliament has been given huge powers under Article 262 to deal with any interstate water dispute. Okay, Parliament may also provide that neither the Supreme Court nor any other court. Parliament can also make a law stating that Supreme Court and High Court you and tell them that you can't interfere in our matters when we are dealing with inter water disputes. Okay, Parliament has huge powers in these river dispute acts. Parliament has enacted recently two acts regarding this: River Boards Act and Interstate Water Disputes Act 1956. Next, River Board Act provides for establishment of river boards by the central government for the regulation and development of interstate river and river valleys. So, when is a river board is established? It is established on the request of state government concerned to advise them. Next, the Interstate Water Disputes Act empowers the central government to set up an ad hoc tribunal for the adjudication of dispute between two or more states in relation to the waters of interstate water, river, and river valley. Now, what is an ad hoc tribunal? Ad hoc means temporary. There are two kinds of tribunals: statutory, permanent tribunals, next, ad hoc tribunals. So, look after the ad hoc tribunal, which is temporary. And what are the articles related to it, and when did it come into existence in our India, the tribunal concept, and who was responsible for it, in which year it came? This is a way of reading. Look after it. Okay. Next, Godavari River. So where since Krishna and Godavari rivers came into the news, we need to study those topics, right? Godavari River. What is the source of Godavari River? It rises from Triambakeshwar near Nasik in Maharashtra. It has a length of 1465 before falling into the Bay of Bengal. Next, drainage basin. Coming to the drainage basin, the Godavari basin extends over states of Maharashtra, Telangana, AP, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, in addition to smaller parts in Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, and Union Territory of Puducherry. So, what are its tributaries? Pravara, Purna, Manjira, Penganga, Vardha, Vainganga, Pranahita, Indravati, Maner, Sevare. These are important things. You need to mug up these things in the form of either mnemonics or mind mapping techniques, because this is an important area which the UPSC can frame the questions. It flows in which of the following states? It may ask like this: Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha. You need to remember this. Okay. Next, let's read about Krishna River. It's what is its source? Mahabaleshwar. Where is in Maharashtra? So both Krishna and Godavari originates in Maharashtra. Which is the second biggest river in India after Godavari River. So second biggest river is Krishna after Godavari River. Okay, so which is the first biggest river? Godavari River. Drainage. That means area under it flows. It runs in four states: Maharashtra, North Karnataka, and the rest of its 1300 kilometer journey in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh before it empties into Bay of Bengal. That means it flows from west to east direction. Okay, so what are the rivers going from east to west? Comment in the live, search it in the Google. Okay, this is the way of reading. So what are the tributaries of Krishna? Tungabhadra, Mallaprabha, Koina, Bhima, Ghataprabha, Yerla, Varna, Dindi, Musi and Dudganga. These are the tributaries of Krishna. Okay, who are the star campaigners? Why it is in the news? Election campaign has reduced. Commission has reduced the maximum number of star campaigners permitted for campaigning during Bihar elections amid concerns over large gatherings in view of pandemic. So because of pandemic, election commission has reduced the maximum number of star campaigners. Basically, there are maximum number of there is a number of maximum number of star campaigners to be permitted for campaigning. So in the view of pandemic, election commissioner has reduced that number. We'll check how much till what extent it reduced. So who are these star campaigners? They can be described as persons who are nominated by parties, not commission, to campaign in a given set of constituencies. These persons are in almost all cases prominent and popular faces within the party. Okay, like during the Modi election, who are the star campaigners? They are like Nitin Gadkari, Amit Shah. These were the star campaigners. Examples. Okay. However, there are no specific definitions. Important point to be noted. There are no specific definitions according to Law and Election Commission of India. Next, conditions for star campaigners. What are the conditions that should satisfy to be a star campaigner? Star campaigners of a party will not exceed 40, where it is recognized at a political party. So the number should not exceed 40. Okay. For parties that are deemed unrecognized, so for unrecognized parties, maximum number should be will be 20 only. So but according to section 77 of Representative of People's Act 1951, not 1950, you need to remember this. Okay, next, expenses incurred by the campaigner shall not be deemed to be expenditure in connection with the election. That means, suppose if you are contesting for election, Amit Shah campaigns for you and spends money, it does, so that money will not get counted in your expenses. It will be counted in Amit Shah's expenses, in party's expenses. So this will save your quota of money to be expended by you in the election. See, this is the benefit of star campaigners. Okay. However, if a star campaigner is present with the candidate on stage while campaigning, then half the expenditure of the event will go to candidate's account. This is the exception. Okay. Next, manual to the model code of conduct states that for the benefit of section 77 of the People's Act, a permit for the mode of transport for every star campaigner will be issued centrally and against their name. Okay, it is also mandatory for this to be struck on a prominent and visible place on a vehicle, like our fast tags, which is to be placed on the front side of the mirror. A note saying that this is the so and so star campaigner uh, with his name. It should be included on the front side of the mirror. In this way, it's included according to which act, which section? Section 77. Which act? Representation of People's Act 1951. So for recognized persons, so what is the maximum number? 40. For unrecognized, it is 20. Next, Model Code of Conduct states that if the star company is a prime minister or a former prime minister, then the expenses incurred for bulletproof vehicles required by centrally acquainted security personnel will be borne by the government, not the party. So bulletproof vehicles expenses will be covered by the government. For whom? For PM or for former PM. That means for our Modi ji, or else for Manmohan Singh, their bulletproof campaigning vehicles will be cost will be borne by our today's government. Okay, this is the thing. UPSC can frame questions from any part of the line. Be thorough with the preparation, dig deep into any topic, and so how to remember anything. take an example of yourself sitting in the woods of those topic, and you can remember that. Okay, I will conduct a session soon on how to remember anything and everything under the sky with techniques, easy techniques. Okay, so now let us look after tribal council. So Gorkha and Janmati Morcha delegation to Union Minister meeting demands separatist state. So Gorkha and Janmati Morcha, they are demanding for a separate state like what we got in Telangana from Andhra Pradesh. So what is the Gorkha land? Gorkha land, it consists of Nepali speaking people of Darjeeling. Where is Darjeeling? It's in Bengal. Next, Kalimpong and Kurseong and other hilly districts of West Bengal. As I told you before, the people belonging to these areas have ethical, culture, language differences with the Bengali. Obviously, their state is Bengal, so their language will be Bengali. Since they are tribal people, they have ethical, cultural, and language differences. Next, community of West Bengal. It is scheduled area. What is a scheduled area? Search in Google. Next, it comes under fifth schedule of the Indian Constitution. In our Constitution, fifth schedule deals with scheduled areas other than the areas covered in sixth schedule area of all over India. Okay, so fifth schedule and sixth schedule of the Constitution. Next, two schedules. Let us look after these two schedules in detail about the control and management of the schedule and tribal areas. Okay, schedule the schedule. Which of the following schedule deals with schedule areas in our India? Answer is fifth schedule. Which of the following schedules deals with tribal areas? The answer is sixth schedule. Next, another question can be framed like this. So, which of the following states comes under sixth schedule and how many states? It is four states: Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. These four states comes under sixth schedule. And what are the other areas that comes under the fifth schedule? Except four states are mentioned below. That means other than these four states, other areas who having scheduled areas are included in fifth schedule. Next, it these two concept deals with two articles, article 244 and 244a. Next is article 244 deals with administration of scheduled and tribal areas. 244a deals with formation of an autonomous states that comprises certain tribal areas of Assam and having a council of ministers. Okay, next, what is article 339? It mentions the union government's control over the scheduled areas administration and welfare of the tribal people. So this is all about Article 339, Article 2 of 244, Article 244A, 5th schedule and 6th schedule. Why was it in the news? It is in the news because of Gorkha land. So now what is Gorkha land? It consists of Nepal speaking people of Darjeeling, Kalimpong, Khorsang and other hilly districts of West Bengal. This is the way to revise. Next, let us move towards definition of scheduled and tribal areas. The areas inhabited by socially and educationally backward aboriginals are called as scheduled areas. Quick facts. Let us look after the quick facts about scheduled areas. Part 10. So which of the our our constitution has 22 parts. Out of the 22 parts, which part of the constitution deals with the scheduled and tribal areas? Part 10. Which the articles 244 and 244a. Just we discussed above. So who is empowered to declare an area as scheduled area? President is the one. Okay. From any word, remember my words, mark my words. From any word or any sentence in a polity, UPSC can frame questions. Try to frame as many questions by yourself, thinking in that angle. In that angle, that means sitting in the foot of an examination setter. In this way, you can crack UPSC or any other exam in the world. Okay, with the consultation of the governor of state, president can alter. So with the consultation of governor of the state, who can alter? President can alter, add or diminish the boundary of state scheduled area. Both, I'm repeating the words to get stick in your mind. Both the center and state have the roles to play in the administration of scheduled areas, while the governor of the state has to report annually to the president. So, who he reports to? President or parliament? He reports to president over the management of such area. The center gives direction to a state regarding the administration of such areas. This is how the system works. Regarding the tribal council letters is a must for the states having scheduled areas. Suppose if you are in Gujarat and there are scheduled areas in your state, then there should be a tribal advisory council in those scheduled area in those states. Okay, so how many members it does consist of? It consists of 20 members, three-fourths of which are scheduled tribes representatives in that state legislative assembly. Next, the power to decide with whether any central or state legislation implies over the state having scheduled areas lies in the hands of governor. So who has the power to decide whether any central or state law applies to those areas? It is the governor, not president. So what is the other power of governor? Governor can also repeal or amend any regulations with respect to the state having scheduled areas, but only with the assent of President of India. That means regarding the laws regarding the laws enacted by central government or state government, governor is the answer. Should be marked in if you got encountered with this kind of question while solving any paper. Okay, this kind of logic should be remembered and created by you to remember any topic of polity. Next, first commission to report on the administration and welfare of scheduled areas was established in 1960 and was headed by whom? UN Debar. So there are 10 states which are having scheduled areas: AP, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, Telangana. And what is the criteria for declaration of scheduled area? There should be a prominent number of tribal population. When the tribal people are in majority in an area, compactness and regional size of the area should be there, and a viable administrative entities such as district, block, or taluk should be there, and economic backwardness of the area as compared to neighboring areas. Next, what are let us move towards quick facts about tribal areas. We have seen about scheduled areas. Now we are looking for tribal areas. So which schedule deals with the tribal areas? Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. Now the same matter applies with these are the other facts related to tribal areas. Very key facts. UPSC can frame question from any of these sentences. Do not afford to miss this content. I'll provide you the PDF. Follow very carefully. Assam. In Assam, there are autonomic district councils. So don't miss this GK part. Now let us move towards another topic. Role of COG. Now who is COG? Controller and Auditor General of India. Now why is it in the news? The latest India specific data on COVID-19 infections is alarming. Means since the cases were increasing, the data is very alarming. What is alarming? That means government should be more alert and be more responsive towards its situation and citizens. With the nation spending substantial resources to manage the pandemic, the role of Controller and Auditor General of India as a supreme audit institution has gained great importance. Now, why? Let us move towards the concept, the original concept of COG. Since it's in the news, we need to study the concept of it. COG. Who is COG? He is an independent authority under Constitution of India. Okay, independent. Mark this word is independent. He doesn't come under anyone. He is independent. He has been given power by Constitution of India since the beginning of enactment of Constitution of India in 1940, 1950, 49, 50, since Republic Day. That means whoever our Constitution gives power, they are independent, they are supreme, they have more powers than statutory. And he is the head of Indian Auditing and Accounts Department and the chief guardian of public purse. That means he checks the account. He is the head of it. He is the institution through which the accountability of the government and other public authorities to parliament and state list and through them to the people is ensured. That means if if the government, parliament or a state legislature spends some money, arbitrarily spends some money, they'll be held accountable by COG. In what way? He'll check the accounts and questions the government why you have done like this. They ask for the explanation. In this way, COG plays the key role. So here's the comparison with the British Controller and Auditor of General India. We have in COG in India, he only performed the role of Auditor General and not as a controller. But in Britain, he has the power of both controller and as well as Auditor General. In India, the COG audits the accounts after the expenditure is committed, not before. That means just like postmortem, once after someone dies, postmortem will be conducted. In the same way in India, After spending the money, after expenditure, he audits the accounts. But it is a different case in United Kingdom. In India, he is not a member of parliament, but in Britain, he is a member of parliament. Which are the articles that deals with appointment of CAG? Article 148. Which are the articles that deals with duties and powers of CAG? Article 149. So, which is the article says that the accounts of union and state shall be kept in such a form as the president may, on the advice of COG, prescribe. Article 140. Next, these are Article 151, Article 279. So deals with COG. Look after those. Why? What is the mean by independence of COG? Because he is appointed by president by warrant under his hand and seal. That means president can remove him any time. Generally, what is the tenure of COG? 6 years, 65 years of age, whichever is earlier. Okay. Next, for example, if he is appointed at the age of 63, then he has to leave the office at the age of 65. That is the meaning of this sentence. So he can, so who appoints him? President. So who he can be removed by whom? President. Only in accordance with the procedure mentioned in the constitution. That is the manner same as removal of Supreme Court judge. That means there is a procedure to remove a Supreme Court judge. The same procedure applies for CAG also. He is ineligible to hold any office either under the government of India or of any states once he retires. So once after he resigns from the post of Comptroller General of India, he cannot hold any office either under the government of India or any state because he knows all the logics and what are other things in the auditing section. If he's again posted in some state government or government of India, he may commit some malpractice and expose the loopholes present there. That's why this provision is included in our constitution. So coming to the salary, his salary cannot be varied while he is in the position of the as cog. That means if he has done something, if he has audited something, and the central government got angry with him, and he can't reduce his salary, and his administrative powers and conditions of service of persons serving in the this department are prescribed by whom? Not by anyone but by the president. So president appoints him, president removes him, president gives him the powers, and he prescribes it. That is okay. So he submits the reports to president. So next, administrative expenses of the office of COG, including all salaries, are charged from Consolidated Fund of India. There are three funds of India. Three funds of India. What are them? Study today. So Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India, Public Account of India. There are three accounts in India. You need to study those also. Okay. Functions and what are the functions and powers of Controller and Auditor General of India? It derives its mandate from 148 to 151, which we previously discussed before. Next, he has some duties and powers and conditions also, and also there are some important judgments related to Controller and Auditor General of India. Look after them. I'll provide you with the PDF. Next, we'll skip to the other topic. Let's move. Oath of the Governor. The beauty of the this compilation provided by this institute is they provide very comprehensively. That's why we can stick to this PDF other than Vision and Insight IAS. I prefer this. Okay. Next, after recent controversy between Maharashtra CM and Governor, the oath of office of Governor has gained widely importance. 159 of Indian Constitution mentions about the oath and affirmations of the governor. So, which article deals with the oath and affirmations and which schedule deals with the oath and affirmations? Mention the comment below. Article 149 deals with the oath and affirmations by the governor. So, who administers oath to the governor? Answer is Chief Justice of India. Chief Justice of the concerned state high court, not India, and in his absence, the senior most judge of that court available. Okay. Governor swears to faithfully execute the office to preserve, protect, and defend the constitution and the law, to devote himself to the state and the well-being of the state. Okay. Next, Finance Commission. Above we have dealt with the oath of the governor. Now, Finance Commission. Why it's in the news? He says that GST says will continue. What is GST says and what is Finance Commission? Let us look after it. Is a constitutional body. Finance Commission is a constitutional body. That means it is previously mentioned under an article in the Constitution since 1950. It is mentioned by our constitutional makers. That is why it is called as constitutional body, and it is created every 5 years. How many years? 5 years. This is a GK question to recommend why the transfer of financial resources from center to states. Now, the commission also decides the principle on which grants in aid will be given by the center given to the states. Now, recently, the 15th Finance Commission, headed by whom? NK Singh, to be observed for a period of 5 years. How many years? 5 years. Will kick in from up to April 1, 2020. Next, State Finance Commission. There are also State Finance Commissions. Okay, when was it introduced? By 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment to rational and systematize state fiscal relations in India. Because the thing is, in 73rd and 74th amendments, Panchayat Raj institutions came into existence, and that is the reason state finance commissions became necessary. Because in the central government, just as it recommends in what way grants should be done from central to central government, in the same way from state government to panchayat raj institutions, how the grant should be there, how much should be there, how much percentage of the state GDP should be given to them, how much powers would be them. All these recommendations will be done by state finance commission. Okay? Which are the articles deals with it? Article 230I, 243I, article 243Y. These are articles that deals with the state finance commissions. Next, what are the others? Next topic, independence of judiciary. So why it came in the news? APCM has written letter to Chief Justice of India regarding to the conduct of judges of AP High Court. This is a very serious topic because it has been appearing in almost every day since the past in October month. There is a controversy going on in Andhra Pradesh between CM Jagan and AP High Court and Supreme Court of India. That's why it came in the news. So we should not read about what's the controversy about. We should be thorough with the concept of the articles involved in it. Article 121, restriction on discussion. That means in the parliament, if you are a member of a parliament, if you are an MP, you cannot discuss regarding any judge of the Supreme Court or High Court. Okay, but in when it comes to Article 211, restriction on discussions, it deals with the restriction of discussion in legislature. So either in parliament or in state legislature, you cannot discuss about a judge of Supreme Court or else High Court in the discharge of his duties. UPSC can frame the questions from this. So whether in the form like whether whether there is any restriction on discussion in parliament, or whether there is any discussion regarding judge in legislature, and what are the articles related to it in this kind, UPSC can frame the questions. Never afford to miss and revise everything in a time to time. So Assam Mizoram dispute. Over the last 1 week, residents of Assam and Mizoram have clashed twice over the territory. Why? Injuring at least 8 people. That's why it's in the news. Assam Mizoram dispute. Now, what is the dispute concept? It spotlights the long-standing interstate boundary issues in the northeast, particularly between the Assam and states that are covered of it. Previously, many northeastern states were actually are the part of Assam, so they were made separate part out of it. That's why there are many boundary clashes between all those areas. That's why, according to the agreement between Assam and Mizoram some years ago, status quo should be maintained in no man's land in the border area. What is status quo? That means you should not come in that area, I should not come in that area. We should maintain on a deal. So that's the about status quo deal. Okay. However, people violates it, which leads to dispute. Even in the border between India and China, uh, they pledge to maintain status quo. Always a no man's land. That means you can't go there, and Chinese people won't come there. But recently, Chinese people have violated it and resulted in a very bad clash between our army and their army. Mizoram believes the boundary should be demarcated on the basis of 18. So this is the demand of Mizoram on the basis of 1875 notice, which is derived from Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act of 1873. Why? What does Assam say then? Assam follows 1933 demarcation that demarcates a boundary between Lushai Hills and Manipur. So that is the point of conflict. So these are the areas uh, in the map. Be thorough with the areas. Next, so this is the state of Mizoram. Okay. Next, this is Meghalaya and this is Bangladesh, and this is Aizawl, Kolasib and Mamamit, and this is where the place of Mairangti, Karimganj, Hailakandi, Kachar. UPSC can frame questions of it like in the type of which of the following places are in which state. In that way, it can frame the question. Lailapur. So these are some areas. So let us move towards another topic: District Development Council. So now let us take a break for 2 minutes or 1 minute. Okay, now let us move towards the session again. Let us complete today few more topics and move on to other session. So District Development Council. So Center recently amended the Jammu Kashmir Panchayat Raj Act 1989 to facilitate the setting up of District Development Council. District Development Councils are set to become a new unit of governance in Jammu and Kashmir. This structure will include a DDC and a District Planning Committee. Okay. What does it include? This is all about district planning committees. So why it came, when it came, why it is necessary, what does it include, what is the term of it? It will be 5 years, minimum 4 meetings a year. Can be UPSC can frame questions like this. So it is expected to become representative bodies for the development of the grassroots in the 20 districts of Union Territory. So this is all. In this way, we need to prepare. Next, let us move towards Punjab formulas. Why it's in the news? A special session of the Punjab Assembly passed three form amendment bills removing Punjab from the ambit of central list. The central governor office. Let us move towards the concept. The bill states that the sale of wheat and paddy shall be valid only if the seller pays a price equal to or greater than the MSP announced by the central government. It's a very good act. Next, it states that any person or company or corporate house violating the above provision will be punished with imprisonment of less than 3 years, not less than 3 years. The bill says that the state government can notify a fee to be levied on private traders or electronic trading platforms for trade and commerce outside the mandis under this act. Next, apart from governor, Punjab government's new formulas need the assent of the president since they seek to amend laws passed by the central government. Next, this is all about this act. So why the concept again? Another concept came into existence: president assent to state bill. When a state bill is reserved by the governor for the consideration of president, the president has three alternatives. He may give his assent to the bill, and he can withhold his assent, and he may return the bill for reconsideration. What is the meaning of giving assent? That means he says okay with the bill, it becomes an act. What is the meaning of withhold? Withhold means he says no, then the bill ends there and doesn't become an act. What is the meaning of return and reconsideration? It goes to the again. It goes to the house of the state legislature, and then they'll consider it again. They check the provisions again. The bill goes returned to the president again, and then the house reconsider it within 6 months. Okay, this is all about that president assent to a state bill. This is the concept. So other concepts are also covered here in the polity section here. Did you notice one thing? The current affairs is nothing but the static portion which you are reading now as per the syllabus of our test series. Next, poll spending. Poll spending limit for candidates contesting. So there are some limits that should be spent by each and every candidate. That means if you are an MLA or an MP, there is certain limit of spending. Now, what is that limit? Spending amount. So, if you're contesting for an MP, you can spend to the maximum of 70 lakh rupees according to the rules of 1961 under Rule 90. Next to and up to 28 lakh if you're contesting as an MLA. So under section 77 of the Representative People's Act 1951, every candidate shall keep a separate and correct amount of all expenditure incurred between the date on which he has been nominated on the date of declaration of the result. So within 30 days, all the candidates are required to submit their expenditure statement to the Election Commission of India. If there is any incorrectness or malpractice beyond the cap can lead to disqualification of the candidate by ECI, means Election Commission, under which Act 1951. Can be noted that there is no cap on a political party's expenditure. So, if you are contesting from BJP or any other party, you can spend till a certain limit, but your party has no limit. It can spend unlimited, which is often exploited by candidates of the party. However, all registered political parties have to submit a statement of the election expenditure to the Election Commission within 90 days. For a candidate, it is 30 days. For a political party, registered political party, they need to submit within 90 days. That is all about this concept of poll spending. Next, state consent to CBI. What is the state consent to CBI? CBI is governed by which act? Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. So let us take an example. So if there is any case in your state, uh, CBI can't directly interfere in that case until and unless your state government gives consent to CBI. And there are also exception to it. Your High Court may order a certain case to be investigated by CBI, or else if the case is originated in any other state, then the CBI can also interfere in your state. So these are all about the CBI state consent. That is it. That is all mentioned here. Next, local self-governance. What is local self-governance? Panchayat Raj institution. Just I told you before previously. When was it introduced? 73 and 74 Constitutional Amendment Act. They will ensure good governance at the grassroots levels. It increased the concept of democracy in India. So, what are the two amendments made? It added Part 9 and Part 9A by 73rd and 74th Amendments. Next, it serves as the basic units of democratic system, Gram Sabhas and ward communities comprising all the elder members registered as voters. So this is a three-tier system of government: panchayat at village, intermediate block, and taluk mandal and district levels, except in states with population below 20 lakhs. This is an important point point to be noted. UPSC can also have a chance of framing questions. So except, any, all, these kind of terms are the most favorite topics of UPSC. So seats at all levels to be filled by through what? Direct elections. Under which article? Article 243C. So for when it comes to reservation for SCs and for STs, and the chairpersons of panchayats at all levels should be reserved for SCs and STs according to their in proportion to their population. One third of the total number of seats should be reserved for women. Next, one third for SC/STs, also for women. Next, one third of officers of chairpersons, also for women, according to Article 243D. A uniform 5-year term and elections to constitute new bodies to be completed before the expiry of term, not after. Important point to be noted. In the event of dissolution, elections compulsory within 6 months. within 6 months. Suppose, for example, your CM, your chief minister, has dissolved it. Then what is the case? What is the situation next? So within these 6 months of the dissolution of the Panchayat Raj institutions, elections must be held according to Article 243E. An independent election commission in each state for superintendence, direction and control of electoral rolls according to Article 243K. That means who takes care of the elections of Panchayat Raj institutions? State Election Commission, not Election Commission. Next, panchayats to prepare for, so who prepares plans and for what? Panchayats to prepare plans for economic development, social justice in respect of subjects as devolved by law. What does it mean? I'll tell you now. Don't worry. And various levels of panchayats, including the subjects as illustrated in 11th Schedule 243G. Devolved by law means state government gives some powers to panchayat raj institutions by enacting some law. That means recently a state government enacted the law stating that we are giving some powers to the panchayat raj institution and you can prepare those plans according to that. So that is the concept of this devolution of powers through a law. What does the 74th Constitutional Amendment say? Provides for a district planning committee to consolidate the plans prepared by panchayats and municipalities. So budgetary allocations from state government, share of revenue of certain taxes, collection of revenues, raises, even central government can through some programs and grants and Union Finance Commission grants. Through all these sources, Panchayat Raj institution gets the money. Article 243 says that establish a finance commission in each state to determine the principles on the basis of which the grant should be made, which I already told you before. Do you remind that? Yes. 11th schedule, which schedule of the constitution deals with the places as many as 29 functions within the purview of the Panchayat Raj institution 11th schedule. Next, so there are so many topics which came in the news in the October month. We have covered almost all the topics. There are few more topics left. Now let us complete these topics tomorrow. These are the other topics: Lokur Committee, outsiders can buy a land in Jammu Kashmir, unlawful activities and Prevention Act. This is another topic. Next, in the tomorrow session, we'll cover this. Next, Election Commission, which we previously mentioned before, again came in the news. That's why it's in the PDF again. So Green Tribunal, it came in the news. Why it came in the news? We'll study tomorrow. What is the structure of it? What is the power? What is its power and jurisdiction? And next, we will also cover other things, other acts related to it, and information commissioners who are information commissioners. And next, we'll also deal their powers and their articles. What is horizontal quota and what is vertical quota of reservations? We'll also cover that. And star campaigner, regarding the star campaigner, which you all previously discussed before, already again came in the news. That's why it's in the PDF again. Next, in the coming video, we'll also deal with the model code of conduct, which always comes in the news every time before the election day, nomination day. It comes into existence. What are the provisions of it when it came to existence, and through which article? What is the powers under it? Other information. So this is all about Indian politics session. I hope you liked the session. Subscribe, share, and like. Thank you.